Hi, Stitchers. I'm Laura, and I am one part of the Pattern Queens here on Flosstube. We are a channel about cross stitch, and I wanted to start today with my WIP parade. I have a significant number of WIPs, and these are both sides. So I thought I would break it up a little bit and make it easier for me to get through and to be able to show you what I have. So you will see a series of these as we go along. Today is December 28th. It's Monday, and I have the rest of this week off from my regular job at the school. I am going to jump into this. I'll kind of explain a little bit what I'm doing, and we'll just see what happens. I started off with my BAPs, my big ass projects, and my extra large projects. The first one I'm going to show you is from T.A. Smith Designs. It's called Motif Musings. The fun thing about this one is that when she was coming out with this pattern, she asked for help naming it. And my sister, Nancy, who I used to film with under the Addicted Sisters, was the one who won the naming contest. And so she got the pattern free, decided that it looked more like me. And so she gave it to me, not realizing the size of this thing. So I am stitching mine on what I think is probably a 32 count linen. And I folded it all up for you, but I'm going to show you. I mean, this fabric goes from here all the way to here. It's huge, but it's only this wide. And I am stitching mine. This is kind of a gray fabric. I think it's showing up really nicely. This is a beautiful day today, so we should have good light and be able to see things. And I am using a Threadworks for this. So I chose my floss first and then chose the fabric to go with it. That's what I have on that. And I'm going to try and quickly put these away while we talk so that I don't have such a mess at the end. What I figured out is that I definitely need some project bags because some of my poor babies are still just stuck in the bag that the pattern came in. So that's number one. This one, I have two WIP Go boards. I have one that is my 10 and 21. So there are 10 projects on here. I have about 4 of them that are on there 3 times. Everything else is on twice. And my other one is my Focus WIPs. And this one, Motif Musings, is on my Focus WIPs for the year. Then next up, I have the Flower a Day Stitch Along from Carolyn Manning Designs. And I have this really pretty piece of, it's a solo from Silk Weaver, a 28 count linen. And I decided to do it on 28. I know it's huge because I was planning to do it over one and stitch one flower every day in 2020. Well, that's how far I got. Not very far. What I've figured out for me is that I need to use a hoop now. My arthritis has just gotten bad enough that I have a hard time holding the fabric in hand any longer. Then next up is my 2017 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. I was trying to find it. Yes, it's on my 10 and 21. I would really like to get this thing finished this year. And that's how big it is. That's just the black and white copy. I am using 32 count Carol's Meadow fabric from Silk Weaver. And that's Needleworker's Delight. And I'm halfway. So that's what it looks like right now. I just finished. I'll get a little closer and show you the bands because they repeat. I don't have to give you the whole thing. I just finished the row of bees. The good thing about going after everybody else, if you want to do a lot of colors, is that you can see how things look and you know what to do about placement with them. This one I will show you because it's actually in a real project bag. This one was made by my friend Judy, who has a Facebook group called Judy's Project Bags and More. And if you ask to join, you can get in, and she makes beautiful bags. So I told her I wanted purple, and this is what she came up with for me. I love this. I think it's fabulous. And she does the Vana method. So that's one of my very favorite project bags for one of my favorite projects. Then next up, I have Glory in the Morning. It's from the Crossed Wing collection. This is gorgeous. I've loved this since it came out. My problem with this project is that they made the chart nice and big, but then they split it so that one half is on this side and one half is on another page. And it's really hard to read the chart. I mean, if they had turned the pages this way, they would have printed probably the same number of pages. We just would have had more sections, but I would have had the whole width. So if you do a reprint, please do that and help all of us out who already have it. I have the beautiful fabric that they called for. This is what I have done. You can see my blue sky part back there. But look, there's a little over 1B. This one is really a gorgeous one. I ended up taking my chart and cutting it and taping it together so that I would have a whole page across and not have to try and look back and forth between the two, which was just difficult for me when I was trying to stitch one whole motif at a time. I have a lot of these kinds of bags. And then I have one that I came up with an idea myself from Carriage House Samplings, is a friendship sampler. And I loved all the hearts. Hearts are something that I collect. And so I ended up going and buying myself a beautiful piece of 40 count fabric. And I asked some of my friends to give me 2 colors that they like, and then to choose a heart if they had a preference. So they would tell me the name of the person on here. Now, mine is not going to follow exactly the way that it looks on here because I'm just doing whatever hearts they chose. Right now, the heart that you saw that started is from my friend Debbie Dewey. It doesn't take very much floss to get these done. I've kind of thought that if we ever get back to in-person retreats, I might take this with me and see if people would like to stitch their own heart on my project. And next are my large project or extra large projects. I split these down by size. My big ass projects had to be something that would measure 400 by 400. And then my extra large, I said 300 by 200. The first one I have here is Cotillion, and I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Twilight linen from Picture This Plus. And this is what it looks like. I'm doing a conversion of my own making using Vicki Clayton silks. And I'm not totally convinced I'm happy with that, with this big motif I've started. It's a really pretty blue and it's coming out gray. On the chart, they've shown it as a bright blue, but I think I'm going to stick with it at least for this big one because I really don't want to start over. I don't want to rip that out. And I will just see what happens with that one. This one is also a bag from Judy. She made these to have during our Frogwarts retreat because I am part of the Black Needle Society as well. So she made these, and I am a Ravenclaw, and inside she put polka dots. She still has some of these great Harry Potter themed project bags if you are interested in that, as well as a lot of other really great bags. And she's so reasonable. The next one I have is from Jardin Privé. It's the sampler à bouquet. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I love this. And my fabric is 36 count Sunny Lara from my friends Doug and Vicky at IX Stitch. And I wanted to get a page finish, and I have that much this year. Got that snail in. We love the snails. But I also decided I wanted to get my fabric really measured out. So that is how far this one goes. It's a big one. No, Doug dyed the fabric. Vicky chose which color she liked best for my project. And because they did Sunny Lara, I thought I would put it in this bag from Judy. I love this. And look at that yellow inside. That looks sunny, right? Kind of fits that name. Another thing, so when I was filming The Addicted Sisters with Nancy, we started a stitch along of 2Bs and ABCs from Rosewood Manor. I still love this. I still think this is gorgeous. I'm doing mine on a piece of 32 count Belfast in the color Quartz from Picture This Plus. And I love that my tag says new for 2015. That's how much I have done. I was struggling with this, and my friend Sue, I saw hers. Hi, Sue. And she had put these basting stitches on both sides and down the center. And I did that, and that helps so much. But also, I think getting things on a hoop, I think that going back to some of these projects will be so much easier because, see, I don't have a pretty bag for that because the hoop has really helped me hang on to things. Then another Rosewood Manor, green on green. I love this. I have a piece of green linen. I don't think it has a tag at all. But I got this linen and I ordered silk floss from Carrie's Creations when she was still dying. There we go. So that's how far I've gotten. Another Judy bag. I have this cute frog bag. Look at the inside. Judy does a really nice job with her patterns. Next up is Garden Fair from the Courtney collection. I just think that's gorgeous. And I have a tiny little start on some lamb's wool. This one definitely needs a new home. I'm looking at these and thinking I have got to learn to make some project bags. This one is in an old plastic envelope that I had. The thing I do like about it is that my cover page will stick right in the front. It's easy to see. Oh, then this one. The 2008 Mystery Bonus Sampler from Blackbird Designs is on my focus projects for the year. That is what it will look like when it is completed. There were parts in, I think, 4 different charts for the year. They put 2 parts in one chart. So, and I have completely finished the first 2, and I'm working on the third one. This one is on 35 count. I just saw this. 35 count KC blend from R&R. It's showing it. There you go. There's the color. It's very warm, very fallish, autumny. Um, this is one that I just love. And really, if it gets called, it'll get called twice during the year. And I'm hoping to get through at least 2 more charts, which would leave me just one. And I think if I get that close, that I will probably be working hard to see it finished. Then next up, Christmas Garden from Blackbird Designs. So it's this one. And I start at the bottom. Mine is stitched on 32 count parchment from R&R. And that's what I have done. Again, I got to get back. There you go. Now you can see it. So I'm working the border as I go just to make sure that everything stays like it should. I put in that center urn during this last year. That's not very much, and I want more progress than that. So the next piece I have is Teresa Winsler's Fruit Bell Pull. And I inherited this one from my friend Deanna, who does beautiful, beautiful stitching. She also started at the bottom like I did. This was just something that she just didn't feel she could stitch on any longer. Look at her beautiful work. Look at this. And I have to try and match this. Now, I saw that this came to me in 2012. Beautiful. Thank you, Deanna. Then next, this one is a fun one. I have Calico Sampler #1, the 2012 sampler. This is from Summerhouse Stitchworks. I don't think there's a picture of all of these together, but it's a huge sampler. And I completely converted my colors to mostly Threadworks. I have a couple of extra ones thrown in here. Instead of the calico colors, I went with these bright, bright, bright colors. And I'll turn it around too. And maybe you'll get it, most of it from that. I love this thing, but I started out and made an error and put it down and didn't go back. And so finally I went back and started, and you can see I used a hoop and I did pretty well. I got all of this done in one sitting. That's my letter A compared to theirs. And I really enjoy Beth's charts. This alphabet was just one that called to me. Then I have Father Winter from Teresa Winsler. Honestly, I'm not sure that I'm really going to stitch this one. I love it, but it's just not one. I don't like all the fussiness of all of the blended threads. I did go through with my rings, and I have a smaller ring attached over here. And on this smaller ring, I put in the blends. And these almost all have a needle in them too. Everything is ready to go. They're threaded up. I mean, there's a lot of work that I've already put in this, but it just is not making me happy. And I'm having a real struggle with it. And that's as far as I am. And I believe this is a restart. This one may be looking for a new home. Let's just say it that way. That's the first one I've said that about. That's not too bad. Then I have from Lila's Studio, Halloween Quaker. I love this one. I got a gift of a really pretty box with this cat motif on it. And then I saw Michelle Bindi stitching this, and I had to go get this. I just loved it. So it worked out really well because I joined Magical Stitches the year that we did Harry Potter, and I was able to use it for a lot of prompts. I am stitching mine on 32 count Wexford linen in the color Marshmallow Fudge from Silkweaver. And that's what mine looks like. So I jumped all over the place. You see, I have that witch started up there. I'm hoping I counted correctly to get up there. Um, I am using my own conversion of colors. I just pulled whatever I had that was at hand, and that's what I'm using. And I want to show you the bag that this is in is from Leslie Hurley. I just love these. She always sends a cute little card. Judy sends a cute little card with hers too. But I saw this and had to have it. So it's Halloween cats and pumpkins and bats. Just a fun print. I love the orange she put on it. And look at this. So the print is up here and the whole inside is the orange, the cute orange. And Leslie always puts her little tag on. These are zipper bags. She does a little different method so that when you turn it, the bag is right side up on the back too. Then I have from Sampler Cove, Thriller. And I have this on a piece of 40 count ink spot from R&R Reproductions. Another Judy bag. I love the bees. Katie laughed at me. My daughter, Katie, laughed at me because when I bought this from Judy, we had this fabric in to make book sleeves. Judy used this fun print inside. Then I have, you guys should all know this if you've been following us. Keisha and I were working on a Hawk Run Hollow piece in 2020, and we started out pretty well. Mine is a year at Hawk Run Hollow. And I hit a point where I was tired of starting blocks and not finishing them. So I stopped. This is the second half of the year. I don't even have all of my borders done. So I would like to get that done this year. And I would like to get um, a couple more blocks knocked out on this. But these are my first 6 blocks. You can see I have blocks 1 through 5 finished. That was a huge thing. I'm just using the DMC they called for, other than when I finished stitching the January block, I didn't like that the girl's dress was orange when it looks red on the pattern. So I added in 3 reds to offset the oranges, and I'm using a mix of them now. In fact, I've used both orange and red in Mayflowers because I felt like it needed both colors. I really love this one. So this one is in one of my very favorite bags from Judy. I love this. And it just felt like a year-long piece. And inside she used this that has little touches of foiled silver in them. Really pretty. And then we're getting close to the end, guys. The next one I have is one that I think probably a lot of you have. It's the Coming to America from With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I did really well for a long time. And then I just got bogged down and was not getting in daily time on this. So I did not finish. I didn't even finish the top block. So mine is on 36 count Boston from, I think it's from Seraphim Fabrics. That's how far I've gotten. So I am working on those sails. And I'm hoping to get more in on this one this year, because I would like my people to actually make it to America. Then a very drastic change on the next one. This one is Halloween from Alessandra Adelaide. And I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count French lilac Belfast from Picture This Plus. And I have this much stitched. Now I can tell you a hoop is really going to help me on this. Is that the most gorgeous piece of fabric? I just love that. And I'm doing okay on it. I am about to finish the bottom. I am using 2 flosses. I would like to get more of these because I've really enjoyed them. I was doing a floss of the month club and I ended up stopping. But these are Planet Earth fibers, silks, and I have smolder and vapor. So what looks like white is really gray. I mean, it is definitely gray. But it turns out really white on this fabric. Looks gorgeous. And my smolder is my orange. Look at that. I can hardly wait to get to that. I had all sorts of thoughts about, I could do the letters in an ombre, that I could do, lots of different things to try out with that. But I settled on those 2 because my fiber of the month showed up. This is in another Judy bag. This is the other size she does, the smaller ones. And I love this. This is a Tula Pink. Can you see the owl in here? And inside, it looks like this. So purple, again, my favorite color. So the next one is really funny. Depending on what you call a WIP, you may not count this. I do. This was my leap day start. It's the Blue Flowers Night Walk Down. I would love to get some more progress in this. This one, I was at a meetup and I stitched, let's see if I can point to it for you. I stitched the outline of the moon. There are 2 colors on the moon. So just this. But my fabric is the Shrinking Violet 40 count. I have this in a Love You More sleeve. This one I don't think is even available anymore. But obviously it's a sleeve for me because, ooh, look at those purples. Then one that I really enjoy, but just I don't think about stitching Christmas usually at any time of the year other than December, late November or December. I have a Quaker Christmas from Bygone Stitches, and I am pretty much halfway. So you'll see that I have done this half over here. This is on, oh, there we go, 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen in beige. And I have some beautiful flosses, again, from Carrie's Creation. And she worked with me and helped me get colors that I really liked. I love this green. This whole piece just feels good to me. And that is the end of my BAPs and my extra large projects. So I will end this video here and I will come back with the next group, which should be my large ones. So have you been keeping track? Do you know how many I have? See you later.